Dr. Lena Arden clung to her seat on the bridge of the Solstice, sweat trickling down her spine. The ship shuddered violently as it defied the gravitational pull of the black hole that loomed nearby. Time seemed to warp and stretch, distorting the starry expanse outside the hull. "Lena, stabilize the frequency," shouted Captain Jonas Ward from beside her, his composure a thin veneer over his growing anxiety. Lena's fingers flew over the console, her mind racing to recalibrate the ship's quantum stabilizers. It wasn't her first mission, but the stakes had never been this high. In deep space, a miscalculation could spell doom for everyone on board. The mysterious signal from the edge of Andromeda had pulled them out here, the dust and debris settling into a tension far more potent than any she'd faced. The crew around her, engineers, exobiologists, mechanics, they all shared the same urgent fear. "Frequency is steady," Lena announced, her voice steady as the ship began to settle. The gravity eased, and for a moment they floated free from the black hole's grip. As the quietude of space enveloped the Solstice once more, Dr. Lena Arden let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Her crew, swapping relieved glances, began the meticulous post-stabilization checks. The black hole's danger was behind them, for now, but the true path lay ahead. They were bound for the very edge of the galaxy, where the enigmatic signal beckoned. "Any word from command?" Lena asked, her gaze fixed on the holographic map of their trajectory. "No updates," replied Ashia Perez, the ship's communications officer. Her tone betrayed the tension they all felt. With the distance, messages from Earth were becoming distressingly rare. "It's just us out here." A nervous murmur rippled through the ranks, but Jonas cut through it. "Let's keep our eyes on the prize," he said, pulling up a visual of the Andromeda galaxy. "We've got to find out what's calling us." Lena nodded, the weight of their mission heavy on her shoulders. She'd volunteered for this journey because of the possibilities it held. An alien artifact known as the Starseeker, rumored to be a relic of a giant galactic civilization, capable of answering questions humanity hadn't dared to ask. "We're approaching our first waypoint," announced Ravi, the young but brilliant navigator. "This is where things get interesting." The swirling cosmic nebula in their path shimmered ominously, a reminder of the myriad surprises space had in store. As Lena peered through the observation panel, a speck in the distance caught her eye. "We need to investigate," she asserted, a mixture of awe and trepidation in her voice. As the speck resolved into a mangled but colossal wreck of alien machinery, a sense of foreboding settled over the crew. What secrets had this piece of history hidden? Their journey was just beginning, and the deeper they ventured, the more intricate and perilous the tapestry of the universe revealed itself to be. The anticipation on board the Solstice was palpable. Dr. Lena Arden and her team maneuvered closer to the wreckage, minds alight with possibilities of what ancient wonders and potential threats the artifacts might reveal. "Bridge, are we picking up anything unusual?" Captain Jonas Ward queried, his voice echoing through the ship's communication system. "Faint energy readings," replied Ashia, eyes darting between holographic displays. "Could be residual from whatever event took it down. I suggest we proceed with caution." The crew gelled into synchronized action, each member slipping into their well-practiced roles as they prepared to navigate the twisted maze of interstellar debris. Lena's heart pounded in her chest, a rhythmic reminder of the responsibility she bore. "Landing party, suit up," she ordered, determination coloring her words. Their ship shuttled a team of 5 to the surface of the derelict, just close enough to start an initial assessment. The debris field was a crypt of tattered technology, fractured star maps, rusted alloys, and shattered symbols of a language long since silenced. A shiver went down Lena's spine as they set foot on the structure's honeycombed exterior. "Lena, over here," came the low call from Ravi, beckoning her toward a fissure that led into the structure's heart. Entering the opening, they were greeted by worm-eaten corridors that twisted inward like a conch shell. It felt alive, electric. Sitting in the center of a domed chamber bathed in stark shadows was a crystalline device pulsating with soft light. "The Starseeker," Lena breathed, her voice reverberating with awe and disbelief. "This is it." Her fingers brushed the surface, and in an instant the room illuminated with a swirling tapestry of stars, revealing a forgotten universe suspended in time. "These are coordinates," Ravi murmured, pointing at the drifting celestial patterns. "Where are they trying to take us?" Lena's excitement was dampened by the looming shadow of what this discovery truly meant. They were at the threshold of something monumental. A ripple in the air, a hum of ancient power, seemed to whisper promises and warnings as they faced the beginning of their most testing quest yet, decoding the secrets of the Starseeker and safeguarding the future of humanity against the infinite mysteries of the cosmos. Back aboard the Solstice, the crew gathered in the ship's dimly lit command center to discuss the implications of their discovery. Dr. Lena Arden stood at the helm of the meeting, the crystalline model of swirling cosmic paths projected above the central console where the Starseeker's coordinates shimmered like ethereal guardians of unknown secrets. "We can't underestimate the significance of this," Lena began. Her voice was steady, but her mind was racing. "This is a map to something important, possibly transformative." Jonas nodded, eyes fixed on the luminescent trails. "But where does it lead? A refuge? A weapon?" Ashia chipped in. "Or maybe a message. We can't assume we're the only ones receiving this signal." The reminder was sobering. Rival factions vied for control of the Starseeker, each with motives as tangled as the universe was vast. Time and secrecy were their fiercest allies. If this information gets into the wrong hands... Lena didn't need to finish the thought. "We must decode this fast," Ravi asserted, drawing everyone's attention back to the holograph. "It might be the only way to ensure our survival." The cramped room buzzed as plans and theories volleyed back and forth, each hypothesis hanging mid-air between belief and doubt. Lena found herself staring at the floating star map as if she could will it to reveal its truths. A strange feeling of déjà vu crept over her, as though she was teetering on the line between the known and the extraordinary. Just then, an alert pinged through the ship, breaking the heavy silence. Intruder proximity detectors lit up the room in alarming red hues. "Multiple contacts approaching," Ashia announced, her fingers dancing across the keyboard as she pulled up external feeds. The silhouette of 3 sleek starships emerged, their identities veiled by anonymity and sinister intent. "Looks like we're not alone anymore," Jonas stated ominously, the weight of their situation settling in. Amid the hushed urgency, Lena felt the latent power of the Starseeker thrumming in the silence of her heartbeat. Whatever mysteries it held, they must unveil them quickly, mastering its clandestine lore to confront the imminent dangers from adversaries known and not yet revealed. Every nerve was taut as the crew of the Solstice watched the approaching ships, their intentions a mystery wrapped in the void of space. "Identify yourselves," Jonas commanded into the communications channel, his voice a firm echo of the authority of Earth's fleet. A moment of static and hiss followed, then a voice crackled over the speakers, synthetic yet teasingly familiar. "Apologies for the abrupt visit," it began, silky and dangerous. "We, too, seek the Starseeker's secrets." Lena's heart thudded painfully in her chest. Her eyes met Jonas's, a silent question burning between them. Who were these interlopers? "Their design is stealth class," Ravi whispered, eyes scanning the data flickering across his screen. "Mercenaries, most likely. The worst kind to encounter in deep space." Lena's intuition bristled. This was more than a mere race against time. This was a struggle for survival, intellect against ferocity. "We can't leave the Starseeker to chance," Lena murmured, more to herself than anyone else. "Or to their mercy." Jonas tightened his grip on the command console. "Ashia, full power to the shields. Ravi, plot the nearest escape vectors that'll take us through the nebula." Lena watched as Ashia and Ravi lunged into action, their teamwork swift and precise. There was resolve in every movement, a dance born of necessity and mutual trust. "Incoming communication from their flagship again," Ashia announced, her eyes not leaving her monitors. "Let's see if they're in a talking mood," Jonas sighed, reactivating the comms. "This isn't your path," the voice continued, richer with insinuation. "Follow it, and Providence might not be on your side." "Providence is what you make it," Lena retorted sharply, cutting through the tense atmosphere like a blade. "The Starseeker belongs to no one." Her defiance hung in the air, its truth undeniable. Lena's mind raced. Every possible consequence of engaging or fleeing from the intruding vessels flashed before her. As the ships closed in, a quiet resolve settled over the crew. They would decipher the mystery, forge their path through the cosmos, and defy the shadows pursuing them. For humanity, their journey with the Starseeker was just beginning. The standoff between the Solstice and the mercenary fleet stretched into tense, silent minutes that felt like hours. Every eye was on Lena and Jonas, awaiting the signal that would dictate their fate. Would it be the fire of thrusters or the roar of conflict? "Lena," Jonas spoke softly, a calming note in the storm, "we need a way out, or at least a delay." Her mind raced back to the Starseeker, its treacherous beauty hiding puzzles rather than solutions. With a flicker of inspiration, she bolted towards the science lab, leaving chaos in her wake. The Starseeker's crystalline heart sat untouched upon the examination table, and Lena hovered over it, her thoughts narrowing on the electrical hum emanating from its depths. If the device had the capability to control or communicate with its starry siblings, it was a power they needed now more than ever. "We need to access more of its functionalities," Lena muttered, almost to herself, fingers gliding across the interface. The familiar symbols danced under her touch, mocking the desperate speed required, yet a spark of insight ignited within her analysis. Back on the bridge, the comms blared intrusively. The mercenary voice returned, more insistent. "This is your last chance," it warned, voice curling with cold finality. Before Jonas could reply, the stars surrounding the solstice flickered momentarily, as if drawn into a collective breath. "Come on, Lena," Ravi whispered, willing her to thread meaning from chaos. The energy readings began to spike, higher and higher, a symphony of possibility and danger. Suddenly, the Starseeker exploded into life, projecting a vibrant corona of blue light that wrapped the solstice in a protective aura. "What's happening?" Jonas exclaimed as the ship's monitors went wild with data. Lena's voice crackled over the intercom, triumphant and breathless. "I've activated a defense system, a mechanism of the Starseeker. It's buying us time." The intruding ships, momentarily blinded by the brilliant display, banked away, confused but still looming near. The crew of the Solstice exhaled in a collective sigh, knowing this was only a temporary reprieve. "Ravi, plot a course deeper into the nebula," Jonas ordered, his mind calculating every possible advantage. "We need to hide and finish what we started." As they navigated the churning mists, Lena returned to the bridge, greeted by nods of relief and untapped determination. Together, they delved deeper into the mysteries of the Starseeker, warding off adversaries both seen and suggested, unearthing new revelations with each step across the interstellar void, their courage burning as brightly as any star. Within the churning embrace of the nebula, the solstice hurtled on, draped in the Starseeker's luminous armor. Shielded for the moment from its pursuers, the crew seized the opportunity to delve deeper into the artifact's mysteries. Dr. Lena Arden and Ravi huddled over the consoles, translating the galaxy's secrets from the Starseeker's cryptic code. "There's another layer here," Lena posited, eyes alight with the thrill of discovery. Her fingers danced over the console, coaxing hidden data from the depths of the Starseeker's crystal heart. Ravi nodded, adjusting holographic displays to match Lena's findings. "There seems to be a pattern, a kind of gateway system," Ravi conjectured, his finger tracing virtual lines that morphed, glowing with sudden insight. "It's pointing us towards a network of ancient relays spread across multiple star systems," Lena realized, a spark of revelation catching in her voice. "It's a map, but not merely to a location. It's a schematic for travel and communication." Jonas, observing their progress from the captain's seat, grunted with approval. "So you're telling me this relic can connect us to an entire network of forgotten worlds?" "Exactly," Lena affirmed, the vastness of it settling over her. "A network designed by a civilization far older than ours. As they decrypted more of the Starseeker's secrets, the ship's sensors flared to life. "Contact!" Ashia called out sharply, updating the tactical readouts. "More mercenaries slipping through the nebula to intercept us." "They're not giving up." Jonas grit his teeth, more determined than ever. "Lena, keep working with Ravi. We need these coordinates. Ashia, get ready to run interference." The familiar hum of the ship's engines rising in pitch was both comforting and thrilling. Lena and Ravi worked against the ticking clock, eyes scanning pages of unfolding cosmic codes, their thoughts leaping barriers of understanding with each newfound line. The ship shuddered slightly as a volley of energy blasts ricocheted off the protective field, radiated by the Starseeker's power. "Time's running out," Jonas warned, urgency echoing in his every word. But Lena was resolute. "We're almost there," she replied through gritted teeth, aligning the final coordinates on the map. "And once we have this network, it changes everything." In the nebula's haze, as the dangers pressed in around them, the Solstice's crew mobilized their strengths, empowered by the rediscovered galactic pathways, their destiny tightly interwoven with that of the enigmatic Starseeker, a beacon of hope and power within the vast starlit tapestry. The Solstice barreled through the nebula, the tendrils of cosmic dust shimmering in ethereal hues as they swept past. Dr. Lena Arden and her crew clung to the tenuous lead they had over their relentless pursuers, guided by the flickering glyphs of the Starseeker's deciphered map. "We've got the first coordinates locked," Ravi called out, fingers playing over the navigation console with practiced precision. "Course set for a star system known as Callista." Lena nodded, feeling the weight of every decision echo in the ship's hull. Callista, the first node in the ancient relay network. If we can activate it, we'll have a powerful advantage. As the Solstice accelerated towards its new destination, the ship's sensors warned of the proximity of the enemy. They were closing in, undeterred by the nebulous barriers or stellar winds. "They're persistent," Jonas grumbled, his eyes not leaving the tactical readout. "We're going to need more than just speed to shake them." "What about the Starseeker?" Ashia suggested, glancing at the glowing artifact still pulsing steadily in the lab. "Can it provide more than just a defensive shield?" "It's designed to do more," Lena replied, her voice an alloy of hope and conviction. "We're just scratching the surface of its capabilities." Jump calculations swirled in Ravi's view, each decision bringing them closer to unlocking the ancient secrets. A ricochet of energy shots skidded across their shields, a stark reminder of the danger nipping at their heels. "Lena, they're gaining," Jonas intoned. The wariness in his voice belied the fiery determination in his eyes. "If they've figured out what we have, we won't let them get it first," Lena asserted confidently. Her hands, steady and assured, interfaced with the Starseeker, asking more of it, drawing deeper into its mysterious reserves. Suddenly, the artifact radiated an expanding wave of light, not just shielding but obscuring their presence, a cosmic cloak turning the surrounding nebula into their sanctuary. "Brilliant," Ravi exhaled, noting the tactical advantage won. Lena watched as the displays reflected their ship, now one with the nebulous shadows, hidden from prying eyes. "Let's hope they don't find a way to counter this," Jonas said, steering the Solstice toward their destination with renewed vigor. As they surged onward, Lena glimpsed something more within the Starseeker's light, a whisper of a forgotten civilization, an invitation and a warning entwined. She understood now that their mission was not only to decode secrets for humanity's boon, but to tread lightly on the legacy of a universe too vast, too interconnected to comprehend fully. Each step further into Callista, each node from the map activated, brought them closer to the heart of this galactic enigma, and the promise or peril it may hold. Emerging from the nebula's protective tendrils, the Solstice approached the Callista system, a majestic tapestry of stars and planets orbiting around a luminous sun. Dr. Lena Arden felt a mix of dread and exhilaration surge through her, each pulsating in time with the Starseeker's glow. "We're approaching the first node," Ravi confirmed, his voice tinged with anticipation. He zoomed in on the holographic display to reveal a complex lattice of satellites orbiting the innermost planet. "We need to sync with its signature frequency to activate the relay." "Easier said than done," Jonas remarked, peering at the readouts. "The moment we activate it, we'll be a lighting beacon for anyone tailing us." Ashia checked the sensors nervously. "No sign of immediate threats, but they're out there, licking their wounds from our disappearance act." Lena steeled herself, leaning into the console as understanding clicked into place, her every instinct tuned to the artifact's resonant hum. The Starseeker had revealed layers of its purpose. Now it was time to see it respond in turn. "Begin synchronization," Lena commanded, her voice a linchpin of resolve. The ship vibrated as the crew worked with unyielding focus, aligning their systems with the long-dormant technology. The air of the command room was tense, taut with centuries-spanning connection and implications that reached beyond human understanding. As the Solstice linked with the node, the relay's ancient machinery roared to life, flooding the space around them with streams of data cascading from one satellite to another. They were part of something bigger, a cosmic web spinning stories older than their own history. Lena gasped as patterns emerged, knowledge etched across her senses. Plans for technologies, histories of empires that once spanned stars, and warnings of great cataclysms. This communication network, it was designed to protect and preserve, Lena whispered, realizing the depth of trust and responsibility bestowed upon them. There's knowledge here, technology that could uplift or undo, Ravi added, his awe a mirror of hers. Yet, in the resplendence of this newfound power, a pressing urgency grew. A shadow upon the periphery, rival forces driven by ambition and hunger approached, their merciless resolve awakening in tandem with the Starseeker's light. Contacts! Multiple vessels inbound, Ashia announced. Voice tightened into urgency. The warding cloak of the nebula was far behind now, and there would be little time to engage or retreat. Prepare to defend the network, Jonas ordered, resolution stiffening his command. Whatever happens, we must protect this node. Amid their preparations, Lena stood at the helm, the Starseeker a beacon of potential clasped firmly in her grasp. Encircled by formidable foes, and with the fate of this invaluable network teetering on a knife's edge, the crew steeled themselves for the battles and decisions that would seal the destiny etched within these ancient stars. The eerie calm before the storm enveloped the solstice, each second stretching into eternity as Lena, Jonas, and the crew prepared for what was to come. In the distance, the enemy fleet emerged, imposing dark silhouettes against the brilliance of the rediscovered golden nodes of Callista. They're positioning to strike, Ashia reported, her fingers never leaving the pulse of incoming data. Lena met Jonas's eyes briefly, sharing a wordless bond forged in the fires of countless crises. We're not leaving this place. We can't let this network fall into the wrong hands, Jonas declared, the unwavering captain steering his ship and crew into the jaws of destiny. Ravi, his usual humor softened by resolve, plotted tactical maneuvers using the fog of the Callista nodes, hoping to seize every advantage the ancient systems offered. We'll use the relay as a shield and amplifier, Lena said, a flash of brilliance animating her face. She interlocked the systems, the Starseeker pulsing with newfound harmony alongside the network. As the first salvos of enemy fire rained down, the solstice danced between the streaks of light, Lena's vision of reality a matrix of probabilities spinning in her mind's eye. Beneath her hands, the Starseeker thrummed, not just a tool but a partner now, resonating with purpose. Brace yourself, Jonas shouted, as the ship shuddered violently under a glancing blow. Instinct had sharpened their reflexes. Each crew member knew their role in this cosmic theater, a mosaic of humanity at the edge of extinction or triumph. The relay, it's stabilizing, Ravi called from his station, awe creeping into his voice as energy flared in a near-visible aura around them. It's as if it's learning from us, Lena realized, the breadth of her insight expanding beyond the immediate crisis. Through the chaos, she could see it, a pattern, a resonance unlocking hidden potentials within the network. It wasn't just a communication device, it was a beacon, a bid for harmony and cooperation across the endless stars. The fleets, they're pulling back, Ashia pointed out, surprise catching her voice, eyes widening in disbelief and relief. The enemy ships hesitated, reeling from the unexpected shift as the activation of the relay split the cosmos with uniting frequencies, projecting an undeniable message of unity, transcending boundaries long buried in time. We did it! Ravi exhaled, the spontaneous cheer mingling with Lena's silent thanks, a cathartic release. The Starseeker within her grasp vibrated gently, a gentle reminder of the path ahead. Callista's not just here to defend, Lena said, her words calm yet resolute. It's meant to spread peace, understanding. And as the enemy ships faded into retreat, the crew of the Solstice looked out into the unfurled expanse of the universe. An immense tapestry stitched with destiny, echoed in the Starseeker's light, humanity standing at the precipice of a new era. Their journey had unearthed revelations not only about alien civilizations, but about themselves. Each step taken revealing layers of courage, hope, and the unyielding drive for peace within the infinite void. The relay nodes glimmered around them, a symphony of possibilities, awakening in celestial harmony, pathways extending beyond sight, their purpose, their challenge. to safeguard this newfound peace and spread its truth among the stars.